If you're looking for the best compact camera, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Canon PowerShot Gun X Mark Roman III. Canon really has done an amazing job with the Gun X Mark Roman III. Yes, it is pretty pricey for a compact camera, but it houses pretty much the same 24-megapixel APS-C sensor in its slimline body as you'll find in Canon's EOS 80D DSLR and its EOS M mirrorless cameras. This is matched up to a zoom lens that's even more amazing, because it covers a 24-72 equivalent focal range and can still retract into the camera body when you're not taking pictures. It's true that the maximum aperture does drop off considerably as you zoom in, from f/2.8 right down to f/5.6. But you get this with compact DSLR and mirrorless kit lenses anyway. The Gun X Mark Roman III might look pretty pricey, but it's actually not that dear compared to other APS-C compact cameras. And right now it's pretty much in a class of its own for a premium compact camera with zoom. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Panasonic Lumix X100V Roman II. The trouble with big sensors is that you need big lenses to go with them. So there goes any kind of pocketability, usually. But Panasonic has really hit the sweet spot with the Panasonic X100V Roman II. It combines a micro Four Thirds sensor that's not much smaller than the ASB-C sensors in mode DSLRs, with a miniaturized lens assembly that powers down into a camera body slim enough to carry around anywhere. The X100V Roman II is a brand new version of the original X100, which was, admittedly, starting to show its age. The new model has a 17-megapixel multi-aspect sensor, which means you can use its native 4:3 aspect ratio, the 3:2 ratio used by most DSLRs and mirrorless models, or 16:9 wide format without losing lots of megapixels through cropping. With an external shutter speed dial, lens aperture ring, and aspect ratio switch, the X100V Roman II is a dream compact camera for enthusiasts and experts. The number 3 position is held by Canon PowerShot G5 X Mark Roman II. The Canon Gun X Mark Roman III is a great camera, but it has some limitations, notably its 3x zoom with its relatively modest maximum aperture and no 4K video. The G5 X Mark Roman II offers a much broader range of specs, and it's also a little cheaper. You do have to accept a smaller sensor, a still decent 1-inch 20MP sensor rather than the 24MP APS-C sensor in the Gun X Mark Roman II. But the payback is a longer 5x zoom with a much faster f/1.82.8 maximum aperture, 4K video, a super fast burst mode, and a body genuinely small enough to slip into a trouser pocket. If you really want a bigger sensor, keep reading, but the G5 X Mark Roman II does give you a very rounded set of specs for a pocket camera. It's a little more expensive than the Lumix X100V Roman II, though, and has a smaller 1-inch sensor. Next at number 4 we have Sony CyberShot RX10 Roman 7. The Sony CyberShot RX10 Roman 7 is mad on any number of levels. The plus points include its impressive 24-200 zoom range in such a small camera, its pop-up electronic viewfinder in a camera that looks too small to have one, and its good-sized 1-inch 20.1MP sensor. It can also shoot 4K video, which is good, but then it all starts to get quite strange. This camera has a super high-tech 357-point phase detection autofocus system, a 20fps continuous shooting speed, up to 9fps in single burst mode, and 0.26 AF response with real-time AF tracking. It also has Sony's S-Log2 and S-Log3 video modes for high-end video recording and color grading, all in a pocket-sized camera. All this power is great and deeply impressive, but it pushes up the price considerable into some, well, us might seem out of place on a camera like this. Nevertheless, if you've got the cash, this camera does things that few other compact cameras can. The number 5 position is held by Panasonic Lumix X100V/X10. The Panasonic X100V, which goes by the name X10 in North America, doesn't have a viewfinder, and it also has a 1-inch 20-megapixel sensor rather than the larger micro Four Thirds sensor in the Lumix X10 Roman II. So that's 2 reasons why it's a little further down our list. The smaller sensor and lack of a built-in EVF might put some people off, and the smooth finish to the body doesn't make for the firmest hand grip. But the responsive touchscreen is terrific. The dual control rings provide a very pleasing user experience, and the 24-70 zoom has one of the fastest zoom lenses around, courtesy of its f/1.4 to f/2.8 aperture range. Overall, this neat little snapper has the near-perfect balance of features, performance, and pricing. It's small enough for your pocket but powerful enough for some serious photography. The number 6 position is dominated by Sony ZV-1. Some might dismiss the ZV-1 as yet another Sony X100 variant, but it's much more than that. The sensor and lens might be familiar, but the body, the controls, the audio, and the rear screen are all new and different and optimized brilliantly for vlogging. There are a couple of niggles. The huge change in the minimum focus distance when you zoom in is annoying, and the steady shot active stabilization didn't work too well for us. But the autofocus is exceptional, and the ZV-1 is a joy to use, not least because here at last is a vlogging camera that really is designed specifically for vlogging, right down to that fully vari-angle rear screen and the supplied mic windshield, which really does work brilliantly. It doesn't have the viewfinder of the X100 Roman 7 above or the longer zoom range, but the quality of its still images is just as good. It's even better at video, and it's a lot cheaper. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Canon PowerShot G7X Mark Roman III. Until the arrival of the Sony ZV-1, see above, the PowerShot G7X Mark Roman III was our top choice for vloggers. While it might be now overshadowed by the newer ZV-1, there's still a lot to like about the G7X Mark Roman III. Popular with YouTubers, this compact camera can shoot uncropped 4K video using the full width of its 1-inch sensor, and has a 3.5mm mic port to allow you to plug in an external microphone for superior sound quality. Though the lack of a hot shoe means you have to think a little more about the best way to set it up. The G7X Mark Roman III is also capable of live streaming footage to your platform of choice, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or whatever else, expanding your options as a vlogger. The lack of a viewfinder may be a deal breaker if you're planning to shoot stills as well, but as a capable, portable video solution, the G7X Mark Roman III is outstanding. The number 8 position is held by Fujifilm X100V. We were expecting Fujifilm to put its latest 26.1 megapixel sensor into the new X100V, but the company has done a lot more besides. The X100V has a new, sharper lens than previous X10 models, in order to do full justice to the latest sensor. And the tilting touchscreen on the back makes this camera much easier to use at awkward angles without compromising its slimline design. The improved autofocus and 4K video capabilities bring this classic camera design right up to date. The X100V has external lens aperture, shutter speed, and ISO dials which, for those raised on film cameras, are just wonderful to use, and it's amazing how they encourage all the key exposure skills photographers still need but which are easily forgotten about with P modes and digital interfaces. It also has a clever hybrid optical/digital viewfinder which is not just super bright and clear but lag-free too. Next at number 9, we have Leica Q2. Leica cameras tend to divide opinions quite strongly. They are built to traditional designs and standards that many consider dated or irrelevant, and rarely match modern rivals for features and technologies. But there's more to cameras than numbers on a spreadsheet, and everything about the Leica Q2 is superb. From its full-frame image quality with its new 47-megapixel sensor, through to its Leica-made Sumlux lens and its stripped-down minimalist design. Using a Leica isn't just about the images, it's about the experience too. So you just need to decide if the experience is worth all this money, even if the price doesn't bother you. Though, there's another hurdle, finding a retailer that has one in stock. Good luck! The number 10 position is dominated by Fujifilm XF10. The Fujifilm XF10 is less than half the price of the Fujifilm X100V above, but it's definitely more than half the camera. You don't get Fujifilm's fancy hybrid optical/electronic viewfinder here, so all your shots have to be composed on the fixed rear screen, and you don't get the bigger camera's traditional exposure controls. But you do get a top-quality 24.2 megapixel sensor, a very good 28 f/2.8 fixed focal length lens, and a very attractively designed little camera. In fact, this camera is so slim, you can easily slide it into a jacket pocket, and it's this, as well as the relatively low price, that makes it so appealing for quality-conscious photographers who don't want to spend a lot of money. That's all for today. We upload product review videos every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.